What's up guys, Marco here. Hopefully you're all doing well. And in case you haven't noticed, with the world being shut down, us travel-istas can't go to beautiful locations like these and capture their breathtaking landscapes through photo or video. We're being forced to think outside the box. We can't capture beautiful images through beautiful landscapes, but we can try, however, to capture them through average-looking individuals.
Hi, how are you?
That's right, we're tackling self-portraits again. And since you guys absolutely loved when I tried this out a few weeks ago, and I just so happened to have a great time as well, I figured why not give it another try. And so, we look to our queen, Sorelle Amore, the goddess herself of the advanced selfie for inspiration. Last time, I dipped my feet in the water of self-portraits. Today, I fully jump into the unknown waters of creativity. Wish me luck. You know, hopefully they'll turn out, and if they don't, at least we will have fun doing it. I think that's enough talking though. Let's bring you guys along and tackle the first shoot. Here we are in the board game closet, but the board games are not the reason we are here, ladies and gentlemen. The main thing we are here for are these cards right up here. Yeah, just a handful of decks that I have. You know, being a magician, I have countless amounts. These are all my shitty ones up here, like my casino-based ones. So I'm gonna grab all these. I'm also gonna grab this poker set up here and do a little shenanigans with the both of those and my bicycle cards upstairs, which I think are the superior ones, and we're gonna make something out of it. That's a lot of stuff. So the goal here is to take all this magic card related stuff and set it up as kind of a backdrop for this area on my floor right here. Obviously this light won't be here. This was just for filming purposes, but set it up on this, get me positioned down there in magician attire, make it look cool, make it look cinematic, moody, and hopefully it looks good. If you're wondering what I'm thinking, here's inspiration on kind of what I'm going for. And I think more or less my final product would be kind of a mixture of these two photos. Well, that looks like a mess. So although it may all look thrown together, I tried to organize them in a particular way. Near the bottom, I put most of the cheap casino cards, and I worked my way up, putting the slick looking bicycle cards on top. Now that it's set up, let's do some practice shots. Huh. This might be a problem. So what I realized standing up here trying to do like an overhead shot of what it would look like is that I don't have the area in my room to do a full body shot. So I moved the bed as far as I could this way. And what I'm gonna have to do is do like a torso up, but then if I'm only doing torso up, obviously where I'm laying, I'm not gonna need cards underneath my body because you're not gonna see any. So I'm gonna make a hole for my chest slash body, move these extra ones up to the top, and then fill that in. So it'll be like a waist up kind of shot taken from that kind of angle. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Thumbs up. Come on, focus. Focus. Yeah, thumbs up. Like all things in art, if it comes out well, then it'll be worth it. All right, so let's try this out. Ooh. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look how crazy this looks. So if I were to turn it this way for a sec and zoom out a bit, oh yeah, that's completely covered. I think we're gonna be good. Okay, let me go change and get out of this very uncomfortable position. And a little bit later, we're all set up, I'm dressed, we're ready to go. Because I don't have a C-stand to put my camera over top or a remote timer to capture my photos, my camera's not connected to my phone, I needed to call upon my sister to simply point and click the camera for me. And as you can tell, she looked very impressed. And thus began a series of uncomfortable poses, all whilst in a suit and laying on many cards.
All right, this is my view. Thank you, I appreciate the help.
Well, other than that extremely long and tedious card cleanup, I think that went pretty well. Let's move on to the next shoot. That's what us magicians call a quick change. As for now, we just kind of wait for the sun to come out because I want more of like a harsh sunlight kind of lighting, moody-ish. So we wait for Mother Nature to do her thing and then we'll go from there. All right, so for the most part, we have everything pretty much set up. We're just kind of waiting for the sun to get a little lower so the light's not as harsh. In the meantime, though, I'm gonna set one thing up. I'm gonna make an espresso just because I want the spoon to have that kind of rim around to make it look like it's been used. And if it isn't used, it's gonna look weird. So I gotta do it, gotta commit to the art here. Cheers. Not too shabby. Now time to fill up the glass. And not to worry, kids, this is only iced tea. But yeah, I think everything's pretty much set up. So I'm gonna put the blazer jacket on, set you guys up on the tripod here, take a few photos, hope for the best, because the lighting is getting pretty good, and let's see what happens. I'm just realizing now I didn't even tell you what this shoot is or what it's supposed to be. So the look I'm going for is like a posh, clean, Casino Royale James Bond kind of vibe, you know? The movie poster to Casino Royale is one of my favorite posters of all time. I love the way it's laid out. I love the calm, the coolness, but the suaveness of James Bond, but also that hard edge to him. So I'm gonna try to make myself look edgy and cool at the same time. All right, now let's go. And just as the sun was going down, I wrapped up part 2 of this shoot. All right, so we move on to our final set of photos, which, to be honest with you, I didn't have necessarily a concrete idea what to do. The first 2, I more or less knew the vision, knew the look that I wanted to go for. This one I had done in the previous series, more of an isolated look on certain photos, which I was gonna try to replicate again, but I was like, I don't wanna do the same thing. So I'm going to try and do another workout kind of photo shoot. Last time I used the skipping rope outside, the weather was nice. Now the weather is pretty shit. So we're gonna stay inside, work up a good sweat, try to get some cool shots of that, hopefully. That's why I wore this sweater, because it's one of those like cinematic sweaters where you see like the boxers wearing this and you see their sweat stains. So hopefully I'll make it look like I'm working harder than I actually am. But yeah, let's cut to the montage. For this one, I wanted to work up a bit of a sweat and be in that workout mental mindset. So considering I hadn't done my workout that day, I figured why not just kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The big struggle for me with this shoot was the pose. Trying to find something that looked both visually interesting, but also still kept with that theme was difficult. What I ended up doing this time around, because as I had mentioned prior, I don't have my phone connected to my camera, was just setting up the composition of the shot the way I wanted and start rolling the camera. From there, I would change from pose to pose with slight variance until I found the look that I thought looked best. And just seeing that footage really helped for that. And once I had found it, I did as I always did, set my 10-second timer on my camera and just ran into position. All right, so those were all the shoots. I brought them onto my laptop a few days ago. I edited them. Now I'm just gonna review them for you. The magician set I thought turned out really well. And that's not just because I think it sets itself up really well with the whole visual background with the magic, the great colors, but it speaks wonders about the craft in just a series of photos. Like, look at the progression of these. It starts off really awesome. You think to yourself, yeah, this is cool. But then as the photos go on, you're like, wow, this might take more time. It takes a lot more work than I thought to be a magician. And this one I love. Like, I'm too drained to even be in the photo. Almost as if I'm the upside down version of a magician. Next up, we have our James Bond-esque shoot. And I may be sounding like a broken record here, but I think these turned out pretty decently as well. Like the sunshine coming through that window, hitting the half of my face, like it just looks wonderful. I think if I would have added any artificial light at all, it would have just ruined the whole effect. And I remember while taking these, I was thinking to myself, man, it's very hard to look cool. So by the end of this, I'm either gonna look absolutely ridiculous or I'm gonna kind of sort of pull it off. And I think I hit the latter. Finally, we have the workout series. And for the most part, I think these ones turned out well. The thing is, very early on while taking these photos, I realized to myself, I can't try and make them look epic because, sorry to break it to myself, I don't look like The Rock. I'm not epic in that proportion. So the only way that these would work out is if I took my workout story and tried to capture it and tell that story. To me, you look at this photo and it immediately says, yeah, he's putting in the work, but it's tough work. Some days you just don't feel like doing it, like life, but you just gotta do it if you wanna make that progression. The second one in this series, I still don't know how I feel about, to be honest. I like the idea, the concept of starting a new routine, how your whole world just kind of like flips upside down. You're trying to grasp onto stuff, but you can't, and now you gotta come to terms with it. That idea, I think, is 10 out of 10. My execution, however, I think there's some room for improvement. Maybe it's the pose, maybe it's my face, I don't know. Or maybe this idea just doesn't translate well to screen. I don't know, you guys let me know what you think. So that's round 2 of the self-portrait advanced selfie Sorelle Amore inspiration. It was a lot of fun. And once again, I had a blast doing it. But also, once again, I realized how hard it is. So kudos. Can we all just take a minute to just give Sorelle Amore and people like her that do this kind of stuff a round of applause, because it's no easy work, guys. I feel like if you want to learn something about photography, something about yourself, something about visual storytelling in just one frame or a series of photos, try this, because it'll push you to your limits. You'll think harder than you've thought before, and in like a smart way, you know? In terms of doing this again, I would love to. I think I'm more excited to get back into the world and implement this kind of style into, you know, my travel photos or my photos in general. Or instead of handing the camera off to someone and say taking a photo of me and trusting everything in them, set up the scene as you'd wish, like you would for one of these, and do it yourself so that you'll get the great product every single time. But that'll be another journey for another time. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching. It really does mean the world to me. I shall see you in the next video, and until then, I'm Marco Pereira. Ciao for now.